Peace, everyone. We've got Queens in the building. Welcome, Queens. As you come in, let us know where you're checking in from. And also, just confirm that you can see and hear me. I want to make sure that my video is good as well as the audio. So just confirm that you can hear me and see me. Good evening, Jen. Peace, Jen. Now, where are you checking in from? Welcome, everyone. Let us know where you're watching from. Peace, Abel. Peace. Who else we got? Cali in the building. Oak Park, Illinois in the building. Queens, New York in the building. Who else do we have here? Peace, Natasha. Greenville, South Carolina. Peace, Natasha. Who else do we have here? Yeah, okay, good, good. I wanted to make sure the audio and the visual work. I had messed up a live stream last week, so I always want to confirm that you can hear and see me. Peace, Kim. Cincinnati, Ohio. Peace, Kim. Welcome. Ohio on the call, New York on the call. I'm sure Florida's on the call. Peace, everyone. Welcome. I wanted to give it just a couple minutes before we begin. As you come in, if you'd like, Callie is in the house. Yeah, just shout out your city. Shout out where you're checking in from. Callie in the house. Welcome, Callie. I have a short training, and then I'll open up the floor for some discussion, some Q&A. But we're going to give it just a couple minutes before we start. I was thinking about this training for a while. So in the last couple weeks, I decided to put everything together. So I had this idea for a while. It's only recently that I decided to put together a short presentation. I think we're live on YouTube and X. So I only can see the StreamYard participants. So excuse me, I'm gonna ask your forgiveness ahead of time in case I miss your comment. Peace, everyone. We got our first question right. Got our first question from MB. We're gonna talk about that exact thing. Is that Spencer Crawford in the bottom corner? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You see my poster in the back in the corner here. Good, good observation right there. It is. It is. So I'm still putting it together my home office. So I'm still in the process of decorating my home office. So bear with me. All right. It's about 4 after the hour. We're going to start in 1 minute. We're going to get to it in 1 minute. The general idea of tonight, I wanted to present 8 business lessons we can learn from boxing. After that, I wanted to open up the floor, general discussion, Q&A. Also wanted to present what I believe are my top 5 pound for pound fighters. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to present my top 5 pound for pound business executives. So 2 things in my notes here to do. I'm going to go through the short presentation, open up the floor, mention my top 5 pound for pound fighters, mention my top 5 business executives. So that's the agenda tonight. All right. So just wanted to confirm one more time that you can hear and see me. We're all good on the audio and visual. If we are, we'll jump right into it. we'll jump right into it. All right, so let me pull up my slides. I've got a few slides that I'd like to share. Let's get into it. All right. All right, thanks, Natasha. All right, so I just want to confirm that you can see the slides here. You can see the slides, is that correct? I want to, ever since last week, I'm a little paranoid on, all the tech. You guys can see, right? Let me share this screen right here. Yeah, okay, good. Let me share that one more time. All right, hopefully you guys can see this. Let me go back one more. Let me make sure this is correct here. Let me go back. Let me present this. Okay, thank you, Natasha. All right, let's get right to it. All right, like I said, I've been working on this the last couple of weeks. I've been really thinking about this for a while, several months. So I kind of put everything together the last couple of weeks. So I wanted to present the business of boxing, boxing business lessons, 8 lessons that we can learn from professional boxing. My name is Errol Seemangal, and this is in partnership with the Black Business School. All right, so here's a list of some of the fights that I've attended over the years. Um, I've been going to the fights almost 20 years now. A few weeks ago, I was in New York City at the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach fight. Very exciting fight. But I've also attended other fights, very big fights in the past as well. Spence Crawford back in July 2023. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia in April 2023. That fight actually broke the bank. I was at Pacquiao Marquez 4, very exciting fight back in 2012. Con Peterson was also a very exciting fight, December 2011 in Washington, D.C. I've also attended fights in Atlantic City and Miami over the years. So this is just a list of some of the fights that I've attended over the years. All right. Here's one of the most important things. I always ask myself why. Why should we study this? Why is this important? So I've got 4 reasons as to why we should study business lessons from boxing. So let's get into the first reason. My first reason is business is my favorite sport. I study business, I train in business, and I compete in business. Business is the ultimate sport. I can compete in business until I'm 95 years old. I'm not out of my prime at 35 or 37. I can compete in business as long as I'm alive. That's my first reason. Business is my favorite sport. My second favorite sport is boxing. I like the discipline involved. I like the sacrifice involved. I like the competition involved. And I like the business involved. So boxing is my second favorite sport. Third reason is boxing is not boxing. Boxing is big business. Some of these fights, actually, all of these fights are at most 36 minutes long. Brokering some of these mega fights takes way more than 36 minutes. So boxing is not boxing. Boxing is big business. So that's a third reason. The fourth reason, and the most important reason, is we can study these lessons, learn these lessons, and implement these lessons into our lives and into our businesses. So here are 4 reasons as to why we should study business lessons from the world of boxing. All right, let's get right into the business lessons. Let's get right into it. I've got 8 lessons I'd like to share. First lesson, we're going to adapt as necessary. One of the main reasons Mayweather was so successful in the ring was his ability to adapt on the fly. Everything flipped upside down in March 2020. Have we adapted? Have we adjusted? Or are we still using the same losing strategies as we did yesterday? We want to adapt as necessary. Technology changes, time changes, circumstance changes. We must be able to adapt. We must be able to adjust. So that's the first lesson. Adapt if necessary. Second lesson, budget. Very simple, but still important. Over the years, we've seen fighters gross hundreds of millions of dollars and still have little to show for it today. We want to forecast our revenue and expenses as best as we can. So, budgeting, second lesson, very important. We want to stick to our budget. Third lesson, also very important, branding. We've seen fighters flip their brand into business success. We've seen Mayweather flip his brand into real estate success. We've seen Foreman flip his brand into the Foreman Grill. And we've seen Pacquiao flip his brand into a political career. Very important, branding. What connotations do people have of you? What connotations do people have of your business? Very important, branding. All right, let's move on to the fourth lesson. We want to build relationships. When the teams of Crawford and Spence were negotiating their mega fight, they could not reach a deal. Eventually, Crawford called Spence directly, and the two of them negotiated themselves. That would have been impossible if the two of them hated each other. So here's a lesson. Here's a valuable lesson. We don't want to be a jerk to nobody. We don't want to be a bitch to nobody. We want to maintain good relationships and maintain a good network. Lesson 4, build relationships. Lesson 5, very important. We want to create negotiating leverage. This is America, and in America, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. There's a reason Tank Davis and Canelo Alvarez will always be the A side in all fight negotiations. Why? Because they put the most asses in the most seats. They generate the most revenue. If I'm Tank Davis, or if I'm Tank Davis's team, there's no way I'm going 50-50 on a fight with Shakur Stevenson. If I'm Tank Davis's team, I point out the fact that I can sell out anywhere fighting whoever. I'm going to put the most asses in seats regardless. I'm going to point out the fact that Shakur Stevenson can't sell out in his own hometown. Not that Shakur Stevenson is a bad fighter. It's simply that Tank Davis has more negotiating leverage. So we want to create negotiating leverage in our business. The better negotiating leverage we have, the better deals we can broker. So lesson 5, create negotiating leverage. Lesson 6, another important lesson. We want to embrace failure. The faster we fail, the faster we win. In the fight game, we've seen first ballot Hall of Famers take losses. We've seen Ali take losses. We've seen Roy Jones take losses. We've seen Pacquiao take losses. We've seen Hopkins take losses. In business, likely we're going to fail before we succeed. Failure is a prerequisite to winning. When I started my first business, it did okay, but it eventually failed. By the time I started my second business, I had known all the best practices, and I was ready to win. Lesson 6, we want to embrace failure. We don't want to shy away from failure. We want to embrace failure. Lesson 6. Lesson 7, we want to both make and execute plans. There's a reason fighters prefer fighting in Nevada over Cali or New York. It's part of their tax plan. What's your tax plan? What's your estate plan? What's your advertising and marketing plan? What's your plan for retirement? What's your plan if that day job cuts you off? We want to make and execute plans. Lesson 8. We want to think globally. Business is global, boxing is global. There's life beyond the United States. There's great champions from all over the world. Ukraine, Russia, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Mexico, UK, Japan. With a few clicks of this mouse, or with a few clicks on your smartphone, we can communicate with suppliers in Egypt. We can communicate with customers in Sweden. So we want to think globally, right? Not just locally, not just domestically. We want to think globally. All right, so if you wanted to reach out to me, you can email me directly, Errol at errolseemangal.com. You can copy support at the blackbusinessschool.com. You can always check out on my website. I'm actually hosting free 15-minute consults. So check me out at my website, errolseemangal.com. You'll see a services tab there. If you're interested in any of the classes I host through the Black Business School, they'll be there. If you're interested in a free 15-minute consult, either options related or business consulting related, you can book me at my website. If you're on social media and you'd like to connect, I'm most active on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and YouTube. And there's my handle right there. Before we wrap, one more thing. Anyone that's viewing tonight or anyone that'll watch the replay, for the next 30 days, if you're interested in bulk consultations with me, those are the discount codes: 10 off box, 20 off box, 30 off box for 10% discount, 20% discount, or 30% discount on 4, 8, or 10-hour consults. There's the QR code. If you want to scan your phone, it'll take you straight to the checkout page. So those are the discount codes at checkout if you're interested in any bulk consultations with me. All right, so let's wrap up today's meeting. Let's summarize some key takeaways here. We're going to adjust when necessary. We're going to stay flexible. We're not going to use losing strategies. We all know the definition of insanity. We're not going to be insane. We're going to adjust when necessary. We're going to stick to our budget as best as we can. We all know what happens when our expenses continually exceed our revenue. We're going to build a strong brand. We're going to foster relationships. The better our relationships, the better our top line and the better our bottom line revenues. We are going to create negotiating leverage. The more leverage we have, the better deals we can make. We are not going to be afraid of failure. We want to embrace failure. The faster we fail, the faster we win. And that's especially true in business. Hurry up and fail. We want to plan ahead. We don't want to just wing it. We want to plan ahead. And we want to be global. Business is global. Boxing is global. So those are some lessons we can learn from the boxing world. All right, let me stop sharing my screen. Let me go back up here. All right, a couple things I wanted to mention before we got into the discussion. Two things I mentioned that I wanted to do. I wanted to mention, in my opinion, the top 5 pound for pound fighters. It's completely subjective. It's all opinion based. We could always debate this after the fact. And then I also wanted to mention my top 5 pound for pound business executives. All right, so let me give you my opinion on both. Let's first talk about the top, in my opinion, the top five pound for pound fighters in the world. No particular order. This is completely my opinion, in no particular order. Dmitry Bivol, undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. My opinion, he's beat the best competition. He's beat Canelo Alvarez, and he recently beat Artur Beterbiev. So Bivol's in my top five pound for pound. Who else is in my top five pound for pound? Terrence Crawford is in my top five pound for pound. Arguably the most versatile fighter in the game. Can switch stances. In the Spence fight, he showed incredible defense, in my opinion. Hopefully later this year, he matches up against Canelo Alvarez in Las Vegas. So Crawford's in my pound for pound, top five. Artur Beterbiev is also in my top five pound for pound. He's a straight killer, in my opinion. Straight killer. Cold-blooded killer. And he has a win over Bivol, so he's in my top five pound for pound, even though he lost against Bivol just recently. That's three. Four. Alexander Usyk, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, has beaten Tyson Fury twice last year. Undisputed at cruiserweight, undisputed at heavyweight. So, my opinion, he's right up there in the top five. That's four. And then also in my top five, I'll say Inoue, the Japanese fighter. I think he fights at 122 pounds. Also a straight killer. Even though he fights at such a light weight, he's been moving up in the weight classes the last couple of years, and he's been knocking out everyone. So those are my top five pound for pound fighters. Overall best fighters, regardless of weight class. Bivol, Beterbiev, Crawford, Usyk, Inoue. Drop your top five pound for pound fighters in the chat. All right. I wanted to also mention my top five. This is a discussion on two things, on boxing and business. So I gave you my top five fighters in the game, overall best fighters, in my opinion. I'm gonna give you my overall top business executives, in not in any order, but just in my top five overall. Feel free to debate with me, or drop the top five business executives in your opinion in the chat. In no particular order. Elon Musk. Regardless of his politics, you can't argue with the man's business success. He's CEO of multiple companies. Actually, I saw a video on Forbes today that mentioned that SpaceX has overtaken Tesla as Elon Musk's top holding. I just saw that Forbes video today. So that video was stating that SpaceX has overtaken Tesla as Musk's largest holding. So Elon Musk is in my top five business executives, pound for pound. He's one of them. Let me think about who else. Mark Zuckerberg, top five business executives in my opinion. Zuckerberg's company owns, I think it's the top four apps in the world. I mean, you got to be doing something right if you own one of the top apps in the world. Zuckerberg's company owns the top four of the top apps in the world: Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. So Zuckerberg's in my top five business executives, pound for pound. Musk, Zuckerberg. That's two. Who else? I'll say. Who else I got in there? Jensen Huang, NVIDIA CEO. You might have seen him on his conference this week. Jensen Huang, NVIDIA CEO, arguably, he is arguably one of the best CEOs in the world. You can make a case for he's the overall best CEO in the world. His company has the best product on the street right now. Those NVIDIA chips, hottest product in the street. So Jensen Huang's in my top five business executives, pound for pound. I've got Musk, I've got Zuckerberg, I've got Huang, I've got Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, one of my top five pound for pound business executives. Microsoft's one of the biggest companies in the world. I've got a large holding in Microsoft. Microsoft's a beast. One thing I like about Microsoft, they operate in multiple sectors of the economy. So Satya Nadella, fourth top five, one of the one of the five top five pound for pound business executives in America, in my opinion. So I've got Musk, I've got Zuckerberg, I've got Huang, I've got Satya, and my fifth business executive top five pound for pound, I'd say is Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, executive chairman of Amazon. Again, I like Amazon for multiple reasons. Amazon operates in multiple sectors of the economy: consumer discretionary, tech, healthcare. That's at least three sectors right there. So I also have a large holding in Amazon. So to recap, my top five pound for pound business executives in America: Zuckerberg, Musk, Satya, Huang, and Bezos. All right, there you go. My top five pound for pound fighters, my top five pound for pound business executives. Yeah, in my opinion, this is all subjective. Again, it's all subjective. Who are your top five pound for pound fighters? Who are your top five pound for pound business executives? Yep. Yeah, Jen, right here. Perfect. Yeah. A couple of reasons I mentioned earlier. Business is my ultimate. Business is the ultimate sport. Business is my favorite sport by far. Boxing is my second favorite sport. Boxing is big business. So those are a few reasons why I felt studying the business of boxing was important. Kim, ditto. Yep. There's my website. If you guys want to set up a free consult with me, 15 minutes, check out my website. Check out some of the class offerings I have. Check out some of the other services I provide. What I'm going to do is host some one-off trainings like this from time to time. Another free resource I have for the community is Winning Wednesdays. So that's going to be every Wednesday, noon Eastern, live on YouTube. Winning Wednesdays, noon Eastern, every Wednesday on free on YouTube. If you're interested in that, we discuss current events in the stock market, any current news, anything affecting the financial markets. We usually discuss every Wednesday, noon Eastern. So that's another free resource for the community. Winning Wednesdays, every Wednesday, noon Eastern. I said earlier, but if you'd like to connect with me on social media, my handle is 416's favorite. Mostly active on Instagram, YouTube, X, and LinkedIn. So we can connect on there. Again, I host a few classes in the Black Business School. Many of you consult already with me with options. I know options is a big topic in the community. If you'd like to look at all my offerings through the Black Business School, check out the blackbusinessschool.com, log in there, see all my offerings, or even at my website, errolseemangal.com. I'd like to open the floor. Any Q&A, any discussion. I want to keep it boxing related or business related. Feel free to jump in the comments. Let's see here. What's up, Elijah? Where are you checking in from? Let us know where you're checking in from. My guy, Elijah. Peace, Elijah. Keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing, man. You're doing great things, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Yeah, that's my handle right there, 416 favorite. Pretty active on Instagram and YouTube and X. Marina asks, who are your favorite boxing commentators? That's a good question right there. I like some of these past fighters have very good analysis. Chris Algieri, I think he's based here in South Florida. He's one. Paulie Malignaggi, he's one. Those two, for sure. I follow their channels. I follow their content. Very insightful analysis. Who else? I know when Roy Jones was doing his thing. I don't see Roy Jones commentating as much as he did in the past. He's also up there. But if I had to pick one or two, Pauline Malignaggi and Chris Algieri. Those are a couple of my favorite commentators. They've got great insight. Anything else? Anything business? Any question? Any? Oh, here we go. Right here. Pompano Beach in the building. Oh, we make history in Pompano Beach. We ain't playing games on Pompano Beach. We make history. We're trying to make history in the NFL. Two-time MVP, should be three-time MVP. Lamar Jackson, right up the street. We make history. I'm trying to make history in the business. I'm trying to make history in the stock market. My standard is excellence. I retired. I unsubscribed from mediocrity. I've subscribed to excellence. So in Pompano Beach, we make history. That's our standard in Pompano Beach. Big up, Elijah. Much love at Pompano Beach. Any other questions? Business related, boxing related? Drop them in the chat. Let's see here. I think I'm missing some of these comments. Kim Hitchcock asks, "What's your favorite stock right now?" Great question. Great question. If I had to choose one, it's between Microsoft and Amazon at current prices. I believe, without looking at my watch list, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Amazon's at 192, 193. I believe Microsoft's at 391. If I had to pick one of those two, I'd have to go with Microsoft at 390, 391. If I had to pick one, Microsoft at current price of 391. Please double check. Please confirm I'm not lying to you. Microsoft currently at 190, 391, 392. That's my favorite stock right now. Let's see here. Mention one of your first business failed. What did you learn from that challenge? Great question. Great question. A couple of things off the top of my head I learned from my first business. My first business was in real estate. I had multiple rentals in the past. What did I learn from that? I learned. That's a great question, actually. That's a great question. One thing I learned was how I can hustle efficiently. I don't want to hustle hard anymore. I want to hustle efficiently. So in my opinion, this is all my opinion. Real estate's a lot of hard work. I don't like hard work. I like efficient work. So if I had to mention one thing that I learned from that challenge, when I had my first business, was to not hustle hard, hustle efficiently. I'm not into hard work anymore. I retired from hard work. I don't like hard work. I worked hard long enough. I'm sure many of you have worked hard long enough. Have worked hard enough long enough. So my suggestion is to work efficiently, not hard. Great question. 195. My bad, Jen. 195. Amazon's currently at 195. So I pick Amazon. I pick Microsoft. Please double check what Microsoft's currently at. Amazon's at 195. Okay. I like Microsoft. I believe it's at 392. Double check that for me, please. Natasha asks, "What is a typical day like for you when engaging in business?" Great question. That's a great question. I'll give you a quick rundown of my business, of my day. First thing I'm going to do is sleep in. I notice when I sleep in, I'm physically sharper, I'm mentally sharper. When I worked that day job, I just couldn't wake up that early consistently. So I was always tired. I was always overworked. I was always overstressed. I wasn't my best when I was waking up early, when I wasn't as well rested as I am now. So first thing I'm going to do is sleep in until about 8:30. Whenever my body feels refreshed, that's when I'm going to wake up. First thing I'm going to do is wake up. Second thing I'm going to do is do a little meditation. I'm going to literally lay on the ground, sit on the ground, do some deep breathing, do some light meditation. I'm going to think about my priorities for that day. I'm going to think about what's most important today. In the past, my to-do list was 15 things long, no exaggeration. Nowadays, I'm prioritizing 3 things. So I'm going to meditate. While I meditate, I'm going to think about that day's priorities. Okay, so maybe 3 priorities at most. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to get on my computer. I'm going to do some focused work for about 2 hours. So between say 9:30 and 11:30, I'm going to do some focused work. I'm going to prepare content. I'm going to review content. I'm going to check the market. I'm going to handle any personal things I got to handle. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. I am going to, maybe eat something. It's Ramadan right now, but throughout the year, I'm going to do some focus work. I'm going to take a lunch break. I'm going to go back to some focus work after lunch. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go work out. I feel when I'm better rested, I get better workouts. So that's in the afternoon. After we do another couple hours of focused work in the afternoon, I'm going to go lift weights. I'm not playing in that gym. I'm not texting in that gym. I'm not socializing in that gym. I'm locked in. I know what sets I'm doing. I know what weights I'm doing. I know what exercise I'm doing. Excellence does not occur by accident. Greatness does not occur by accident. I'm locked in. Everything's planned out ahead of time. My workouts are planned out ahead of time. My focused work is planned out ahead of time. So after I go work out in the afternoon, I'm going to come back, maybe eat another meal. I'm going to I'm going to check my email. Personal things may come up throughout the day. I may have a class in the evening, so I'll get back from the gym, eat another meal. I'm going to prep for maybe a class I have that evening, and then I'm going to wind down. After maybe that class, I'm going to wind down, relax a little bit, turn off all the devices, turn off the laptops, turn off the cell phones. I'm going to wind down a little bit, do a little bit more meditation at night, do a little light stretching at night, get my mind right for the next day, get my head together for the next day. So that's my typical day. Sleep in, meditate, focused work, lunch, gym, focused work, class, downtime. That's my typical day. Yeah, exactly, right there. I don't like mediocrity. I'll subscribe to mediocrity too long. My people's birthed me for excellence. Your people's birthed you for excellence. I am subscribed from that mediocrity. I don't like mediocrity. I like excellence. My standard is excellence. Everyone in my network, their standard is excellence. I can't rock with you if your standard is not excellence. What else we got? Microsoft. Okay, my bad. Microsoft at 387. Okay, if I like Microsoft at 391, I love Microsoft at 387. If I had to pick Kim, I think Kim asked that question. What ticker do I like right now? Microsoft at 387. Yeah, there's my daily typical routine. Sleep in. My mind is better when I sleep in. My body's better when I sleep in. Meditate, deep breathing. Do some focused work. Eat lunch. Go work out in the gym. Go lift them heavy weights. I'm not playing in that gym. Eat another meal. Check my emails. Prep some. Prep any personal work. Do any personal work I have to handle. Maybe at night. Attend one of these classes. Wind down. Meditate. Do some light stretching. Go to sleep. That's my typical day. Let's see here. Who do we have here? Howard Douglas Jr. Never thought about compare contracts business and boxing. There are probably more similarities. This is America, right? There's business lessons everywhere, not just in boxing. There's business lessons everywhere. It's just a matter of can we see them. There's business lessons everywhere, literally everywhere you turn. America is a business, right? So everywhere we turn in America, there's business lessons. The question is, can we see those business lessons? On the day job, there's business lessons. In boxing, there's business. Well, professional sports in general is a whole bunch of business lessons, right? From free agency to contract negotiation to the players' union to there's all kinds of business lessons in professional sports, and that's just professional sports. So there's business lessons everywhere in America. We just got to be able to see them. Yes, it is Ramadan right now. I'm looking forward to getting back into my eating routine and my training routine. I miss training. I miss lifting them heavy weights. Them heavy weights keep my testosterone nice and high. Let's see here. Productive day. Yeah, I got to sleep in. Man. I was working the military hours before, and I noticed it affected my health. I got to sleep in. Sleeping in, I noticed I'm way sharper mentally. I feel better physically. So for me, I got to sleep. Sleep is a priority for me. I can't function. I can't be a strong executive in business if I'm not physically healthy. My health comes first. My training comes first. All the business stuff, right? All the business stuff can't happen if I'm not healthy physically and mentally. I gotta prioritize my sleep. I gotta prioritize my diet. I gotta prioritize my training. Of the books on your shelf next to you, what are your top three? Actually, this is not my my bigger collection. I got a bigger collection downstairs in my bookshelf. The ones on the side here, economics. That's a good one. I don't know if you can see that, but it's one of the tall black ones. That's a good one. The economics book is a good one. I think this is Mike Tyson's autobiography. One of those black books, one of those thicker black books, is Mike Tyson's biography. Very great book, insightful book into his life. He had a crazy life. So I think that's one of them. And then a third one I'd say is I believe I have a book describing the history of Miami. Basically, like the cartels involved in Miami and how Miami was built up during the 70s and 80s. So those are three of my top three on here. Those are some good books right there. Anything else? Any other questions? Who's your top five pound for pound fighters in the world? Who's your top five business executives in the world? We can study these. Not to put anyone on a pedestal, but my point is we can study these people, we can learn from these people, and we can implement those lessons into our lives and into our businesses. So I take lessons from Musk. I take lessons from Zuckerberg. I take lessons from Bezos, from Wang, and I take lessons from Satya. Anything else, boxing related or business related? My plan is to have these one-off trainings. If this is a value add to the community, my plan is to have some one-off trainings every once in a while, free for the community. Like I said, my favorite sport is business. I'm in business. I practice business. I study business. I train in business. I compete in business. Most of you may know me through through the options context, but really I'm more into business than I am into options. I've got I think I mentioned this yesterday or in one of the other classes. I've got the Buffett approach to business. What does my business do? My business does what Buffett's business does. What does Buffett's business do? That's my approach to business. My business invests in other businesses. That's my business. That's one of the lines of business of my business is to invest in other businesses. I'm sorry, I'm missing some of these comments. My bad. What's your main strategy in the down market currently? My main strategy in the down market is to dollar cost average. I dollar cost average. I kill the options market. I innovate in my business. I ask myself how I can generate more revenue, how I can adapt. But if I had to pick one answer, it's dollar cost average. And then I may also lump sum buy as well, right? If I kill the options, I've got a pile of cash. I may have some lump sum buys mixed in with the dollar cost averaging. What else you got? Any other comments or questions in the chat? Please drop them in the chat. Again, if you are interested in a free 15-minute consult, business consult, options consult, if you'd like to discuss anything with me, check me out on my website, errolseemangal.com. Check under the services tab. You'll see all my offerings right there. Again, I have multiple offerings through the Black Business School. Email them if you have any tech support, any questions, or you can email me directly, Errol at errolseemangal.com. Any other comments or questions? Again, just to wrap, we can learn business lessons from boxing. We can learn business lessons anywhere, but today I just wanted to present 8 business lessons from the world of professional boxing. I'm a business fan, I'm a boxing fan, so why not put those two worlds together? What here? Okay. Can you clarify the difference between dollar cost average and lump sum? Um, yeah. So let's talk about DCA first. Dollar cost averaging. I really don't overcomplicate this. I keep things simple. So I just set up recurring buys in my long-term hold portfolio. I just set up recurring buys every Friday. So I don't think about it. You know, I may travel on a Friday. I may be wrapped up with something else on a Friday. So I set up my recurring buys in my long-term hold. One of my portfolios, my long-term hold portfolio, it will automatically buy all five of my long-term holds. So I don't need to think about it. I just set up those recurring buys and it auto deducts from my one of my bank accounts. So that's DCA. In terms of lump sum, just say I killed the options market this past week. Now I'm sitting on a pile of cash. The market's been down, so in that case, I'll take some of that cash and I'll make major buys on top of my dollar cost averaging. So say my recurring buys are on Friday. Say I killed the options market on a Monday. I'll transfer some cash to Tuesday, and then I'll make some lump sum buys in my long-term hold portfolio on say a Tuesday. So that's the difference between the DCA and my lump sum buys. My DCA are set on autopilot, auto buy every Friday, and then every so often I'll mix in a lump sum buy. Maybe lump sum buy on a Tuesday, assuming I kill that option market on a Monday. All good, all good. Thank you for joining. You know, businesses everywhere. In America, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. America is a business, so why not study business? In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Feel free to disagree. Business is by far the most important subject. It's by far the most important subject. We all have to study business. If you're a lawyer, you got to study business. Engineer, you got to study business. Mathematician, you got to study business. Dentist, same thing. What else? Pilot. We all study. I mean, most of us have met through the Black Business School, right? Isn't that proof right there that business is the most important subject? Um, Everyone studies business, right? Lawyers study business, doctors study business. I'm a mathematician. I study business. I'm a business executive. I still study business. Business, in my opinion, is the most important field by far. Now, let me make another comment on that though. There's four major fields in America that are important. I feel the four STEM fields: science, tech, engineering, math. STEM, science, tech, engineering, math. I'll throw two more in there: nursing and business. I'll throw six fields that are important in America. But of those six, business is by far the most important, in my opinion. Let's see what else we got. What are your long-term holdings? My long-term holdings. Let's see here. I've got five long-term holds. Besides my real estate holdings, if you're talking about just straight stock, in no particular order, VOO, I got a large holding. Amazon, I got a large holding. Microsoft, large holding. Apple, large holding. And Bitcoin, large holding. VOO, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Bitcoin. Those are my major holdings besides my real estate. What are your major holdings? All right, almost an hour 49 minutes into the live. Again, my plan is to go live on these one-offs every so often. If I see value somewhere, I can add value to the community. I don't mind putting on a free training every once in a while. Let's see here. Yeah, it's all mathematics, man. There's no emotion in investing. There's no emotion in business. It's all mathematics. It's all business. It's all economics. It's all mathematics. Boxing, yeah, boxing. What do you think about Dana White's new business endeavor into boxing, starting a boxing league? Yeah, I hope it does well. I'm a boxing fan. I want to see best on best. I want to see a best on best. I don't care who the promoter is. I don't care what the platform is. I want to see best on best. I want to see Shakur Stevenson fight Tank. I want to see Crawford and Canelo. I want to see any three of those major light heavyweights fight each other. I want to see Bivol fight Benavidez. I want to see Benavidez Beterbiev. I want to see Beterbiev Bivol 3. So in terms of your question, Elijah, I hope Dana White succeeds. I'm sure there's some pros and cons to having the free agency model versus the structured model in professional boxing, right? One pro in the free agency model in boxing is if I'm Tank Davis, if I'm Mayweather, if I'm Canelo, if I've got all the negotiating leverage, there's no cap on what I can make, right? So that's one pro of the free agency business model. One con of the free agency, one con of the boxing league business model is just say Dana White, for example, is the lead promoter. I believe there would be a cap on what I can make. So that's a potential con. If I'm a big time boxer, if I've got all the leverage, if I've got all the Hall of Fame names on my resume, I don't want to be capped on what I can make. I don't want a next grown man telling me what my income is going to be. So that's maybe a con on the one unified boxing league. But I hope it works out. I hope it works out. I want to see best on best. I'm a boxing fan. I want to see best on best. Whoever can broker the biggest deals, whoever can broker the best on best fights, if that's Dana White, if that's somebody else, I'm all for it. Natasha, what are some of the business resources you use to strengthen your skills? Books, publications? Yeah, great questions. Great question. I use a mix of resources. Mentorship is one of the one key thing I've used over the years. What I did was I didn't really listen to what this person said or what that person said, especially if you didn't get real results. If you didn't get real results in business, I couldn't take business lessons from you. So one thing I did was seek out mentorship. I sought out people I thought were getting real results in those fields. I sought out people I thought getting real results in real estate. I took their classes. I took their mentorship. I went to go meet them. I flew around the country to go meet them in person. I asked them 100 questions when I met them. I took them out to lunch on me. I asked them. I picked their brain as much as I could. I took their classes. I consumed their content. So that's one thing I did. I sought the right mentorship over the years. That's one thing. I listened to podcasts. That's another thing I did. Right. We live in the information age. This right here is the best invention in human history. If you know how to use this thing's better than an ATM machine. Right. So I sought out mentorship. I listened to podcasts. I built up my network. I on purpose asked certain key personnel to be in my network. I wanted to network with key people. I asked certain key people to be on my board. I sought out people getting real results, and I kind of befriended them or got with them somehow, so I can learn from them, so they can be a part of my network. So that's another thing. Sought out mentorship, listen to podcasts, built up my network, built up my relationships. Continue to study. I study every day. No bullshit. I study every day. I got a couple degrees. Them things don't mean anything. My real studying occurred after after them people gave me that piece of papers. My real studying occurred. My real preparation occurred after the fact. I went hard. You know, all the nonsense things they had me studying back in the day, all the irrelevant things. Never again. I'm studying only things that matter in my life. I'm only studying things that add to my health, add to my wealth, add to my bottom line. That's what I'm studying. I study every day. No lie. I forgot to mention that, actually. That's part of my day right there, studying. No lie. What else did I do? Yeah, certain websites I follow, certain websites I keep up with every day. I've been kind of used to checking certain websites from my days in business school. I check Yahoo Finance every day. I keep up with business, American business every day. If I'm a business executive, I got to know what's going on in American business every day. I'm checking Yahoo Finance every day. I might be checking CNN Money every day. I might be checking certain YouTube pages I follow every day, right? So a mix of things I do, a mix of resources I use. It's not just one thing. It's a mix of these things over time. What else we got here? Do you think fighters take a pay cut to regulate the sport and take on more challenges in competition? Yeah, it's a good question. I think Shakur Stevenson, not to say he's a bad fighter, he's a great fighter, but he's on record saying, I will take a less cut. I'm willing to take a less split if I fight Tank Davis, right? He's on record saying that. I'm willing to take a less of a share of the revenue to fight Tank Davis. So to make the best on best, some of these guys know that they can't generate big revenue unless they go in with the top guys, right? So um, in that case, in the Shakur Stevenson case, he's willing to take a pay cut to fight Tank Davis at 135, right? So um, if I'm Shakur Stevenson, I'm of the same mindset. I don't mind taking a pay cut in the short term so I can kill the bank in the long term. I may take a short term loss, not a short term loss, but I'm willing to take a pay cut short term because I know I'm going to kill the bag in the long term, right? So yeah, some fighters may be willing to take a pay cut. I think a couple years ago, Spence at the time was a unified welterweight champion. I think he was willing to make certain concessions to make the mega fight against Crawford. Right? Sometimes you have to take short-term concessions to win in the long term. So it's part of business, right? Negotiation. It's all about how much negotiating leverage do you have. So yeah, that's. Do you think fighters take a pay cut? Yeah, absolutely. Not only do that applies not only to boxing, but that applies into the general business world, right? Sometimes we don't always go for the highest paying business or the highest paying job. We're willing to take a pay cut in one respect because we can form a stronger network at this maybe day job versus that day job. That day job maybe pay me more, but I can develop my skill set here on this other day job more, or I can develop my network better on this day job more, for example. So sometimes we take a short term quote unquote loss so we can take a bigger win later on. Kim asked, option stock. What's the question, Kim? What's the exact question, Kim? Option. You have an option question? Yeah, just rewrite the question a little more concisely. Let's see what Douglas asked. Howard Douglas. What major baseball and basketball teams would you recommend and research possibly investing in? Oh wow. I'm not sure if any of none of these teams are publicly available to invest. I believe was it the NBA just allowed private equity into their league, Major Baseball and basketball. Just so let's assume all these teams were publicly available. Were publicly available companies. Let's assume all four major sports leagues, all their teams were publicly available to invest in, just like these tickers on the New York Stock Exchange, for example. If I had to pick three teams that I would invest in, let me think. Out of the four major sports leagues, let's think. LA Lakers maybe, Dallas Cowboys maybe. Very strong brands. Those teams aren't going anywhere. They got a great history. Who else? Miami Heat, great culture. Their culture is great. Golden State Warriors, their valuation's got to be crazy. All those championships in recent years. Who else? New York Yankees, great history, great winning tradition. LA Dodgers, same reasons. Who else? So those are some of the teams right there. Yahoo Finance, CNBC, yeah, great resources right there. CNN Money is a good one. Certain YouTube channels I follow, great information. I'm a student first, right? I'm a student first. I study every day, so I'm consuming a lot of. I'm in a lot of the classes you're in. I'm in a lot of the Black Business School classes that you're in. So Black Business School's got a great education. I learned more for free in the Black Business School than some of these paid classes. Kim asked, which stock did you sell options on? If you wanted a quick summary, I'll give you the quick rundown. If you wanted a detailed rundown, book a consult with me. I'll give you a detailed rundown. But for the time being, let me think. Amazon, I ran plays on this week. What else? Ran some plays on MicroStrategy this week. What else? And Amazon, MicroStrategy. Trying to remember what else. Palantir. Those are a few plays I made this week. How about you? What option plays are you making? Drop them in the chat. Anything else? Any other comments or questions? Hope these trainings are value adds to you. The main idea of today's meeting was to discuss some of the lessons we can learn from professional boxing. We're going to adjust as necessary, right? Times change, tech changes, circumstance changes. We want to be flexible. We want to adjust when necessary. That was one of the lessons. We want a budget. That was one of the lessons, right? We've seen these athletes gross hundreds of millions of dollars and be broke years later, have nothing to show for it. That was one of the lessons. I always had this lesson in my mind all these times. It really should have been number one on the list, but I kind of put it in alphabetical order. Create negotiating leverage. Create negotiating leverage. What leverage can you create? What leverage do you have? The more leverage you have, the better deal you can negotiate. Right? We don't negotiate when we have zero leverage. We negotiate when we have all the leverage. We don't negotiate when you just lost. We negotiate when we just won the championship. Back up that Brinks truck for me. Back up at least 51% ownership for me. I just won the championship. I just won 9 championships. I need that back up that. If we're going to do business, this is how we're going to do business. Back up that Brinks truck for me. Back up 51% ownership minimum for me. Right? Perfect example in the sports world. What was it? 2019, Kawhi Leonard won the championship. Back up that Brinks truck for me. Back up that private jet for me. Back up 7 Brinks truck for me. I need ownership in the team. I need all my people's going to fly on that private jet, and you going to like it. You ain't say nothing. Right into that contract. It's all about what you can negotiate. This is America. You don't get what you deserve in America. You get what you negotiate in America. What can you negotiate in America? What leverage do you have? Create negotiating leverage. One of the main lessons in boxing, one of the main lessons in business. What negotiating leverage do you have? What negotiating leverage can you create? Let's be real. What negotiating leverage can you create? If I'm Tank Davis, I have all the negotiating leverage. If I'm Tank Davis's team, anyone that fights me wins the lottery. What do you bring to the table? Why would I fight you? Why would I broker a deal with you? Why would I do business with you? If I'm Tank Davis, I fight the Uber driver. I'm selling out. I'm making 30 million. If I'm Tank Davis, I'm fighting the school teacher. I'm selling out the arena. I'm selling 500,000 pay-per-views. I'm making 20 million. Why would I fight you? What do you bring to the table? What negotiating leverage do you have? I have all the negotiating leverage. All right. What's here? What else do we got? What's your opinion and projections on the robotics sector in the stock market in the coming years? It's probably going to blow up. NVIDIA's got robots coming. Tesla's got robots coming. I'm sure Amazon already got robots here. I'm sure Palantir working on something. I'm sure Apple working on something. And here's another thing too. If I'm a big player in business, I'm keeping an eye on my competitors. Yeah. If I'm Amazon, yeah, I'm keeping an eye on what Google's doing. I'm keeping an eye on what Apple's doing. Yeah. But I'm also not telling everyone else what I'm doing. I'm keeping some of my cards close to my chest. Yeah, I might tell you about this venture right here, or I might tell you about this project that I got going on right here. But I'm not telling you about the 7 other ventures I got in the back, because those other 7 business ventures I got in the back, hopefully will make you obsolete. This is business, man. I'm trying to make you obsolete. If I'm Amazon, I'm trying to make all my competitors obsolete. I'm trying to make Alibaba obsolete. I'm trying to make Target obsolete. I'm trying to put Walmart out of business. I want all the market share. Not only do I want all the market share, I want all the mind share. So in terms of projections, robotics, we know some companies are already working on robots. Some of them are already here. What we don't know is the companies that are not telling you about their robotics projections. It's gonna blow up. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Who knows what the future holds? We know Jensen a couple conferences ago. Jensen had robots on stage up, didn't he? What did Elon Musk have some robots on stage with him not too long ago? At this point, if you're a big tech company, you have to have robots, right? If you want to compete, if you want to stay competitive, you got to have robots. You got to be AI. You got to be in this. You got to be in that. Otherwise, your competitors will come kill you. Your competitor's job is to put you out of business. Your competitor's job is to make you obsolete. Sheila asks, do you still own Tesla? I don't own Tesla outright. I own Tesla in some of my ETFs or my. I don't own Tesla directly. Anything else? We've been going about an hour and 6 minutes. Anything else? Any final comments and questions? Again, you guys can get at me. You can check me out on my website. You can email me. You can connect with me on social media. There's my handle on social media. I hope these trainings are value add to you. I wanted to mention the monthly meeting I have. I have a monthly options meeting through the Black Business School, and I was thinking about lecturing on risk mitigation in April's meeting. So if you're interested in risk mitigation, learning techniques of mitigating risk, I think I'm going to lecture on that. So if you're interested in that, check out my offering through the Black Business School. What else I got going on? Every Wednesday, noon Eastern, Winning Wednesdays, we're going to talk about current events affecting the financial markets. We just talked about, what did we talk about yesterday? We talked about the Fed meeting yesterday. We talked about Google's acquisition of Wiz yesterday. We talked about Ripple and the SEC. And we talked about one other thing. But every week we talk about all the major, oh yeah, we talked about NVIDIA's conference yesterday. So we're going to talk about all the major events in the stock market every week. Oh, good. Thank you for joining. You know, there is no trainings without you. So I thank you for joining. I hope this is a value add. I hope this is you could have been anywhere in the world doing anything, right? In business, everything's opportunity cost, right? You could have been Netflix and chilling. You could have been BSing around, right? But instead, you guys are joining the live. So I got to thank you for that. Got to thank you for that. Great and valuable. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you for joining. Anyways, again, my name is Errol Seemangal. You can email me. You can hit me up on social. I'll be around through the Black Business School. If we haven't met in person, I'll be lecturing in Miami in May. Come check me out in Miami. Only value adds. Freedom education, not traditional education. My objective is freedom, so I prioritize freedom education. I did the traditional education thing. I did the freedom education thing. My freedom education is more important. I learned more from my freedom education than my traditional education. Anyways, check you out later. Hope this is value add. Thanks again. Peace.